I'm going to be doing this year, how much time I am committing to one show.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It is so a lot. Like I'm going to next, and it's my fault because I didn't look at the year. I didn't look at the schedule. I let Maxwell just do the schedule.
But
I should have probably looked at it a little bit.
Oh, I shouldn't talk about it on YouTube. But I had a meeting with Eyal and Dina the other day.
Oh, good. Well,
Yeah,
we'll talk after because I want to know what you thought.
Yeah, totally.
Because they were very open about how it's not a lot of money if it is any money. But
that it was very open about that.
But I think the idea is. I think it's. I mean,
let's talk about it off.
Yeah. We're on the
we're recording.
Hello, YouTubes. We're back. Sorry. This is what happens when we fucking talk for an hour before we talk for a half hour. We need a lot of. It's like what they do in The View. They have to go into the green room.
Gotta do
some pre-stuff. They chat.
Get loose,
see what works.
You gotta clear your throat, so to speak.
Yeah, you gotta warm up your instrument, if you will. And we were. I hope that we were like obviously absent from the YouTube. So sorry we were, but we are back again.
Yeah.
And
don't give them a reason.
No, it's none of their fucking business.
None of their fucking business.
It's none of their fucking business what we do and why we do it. Like, look, there is no one listening to this fucking show that is paying our bills. However, if there is someone out there listening that wants to pay our bills, we haven't even started the show yet, but do you want to do a show?
Yeah, but I also want to finish this plea for money from.
Well, I'm just saying I want to know what I would have to do to get one of those cash pigs.
Yeah.
Like, what does one have to do? Like, just point me in the direction, point me to the website, let me know the list of things to find. Because, like, do I have to be mean to them? Because I'll be mean to them. I am very happy to be mean. Or do I have to be overly nice? Because I'll do it. But
it won't be authentic.
That's not true.
I feel like I don't know if you can be maybe overly nice, but just plain Jane nice. I don't think you could.
First of all, I am in another acting class where I am learning by the day how good of an actor I am.
Very good actor.
I think that if there was a continuous stream of Zelle deposits happening in ye old account, I think I could be authentically sweet. Like hands under my fucking chin sweet.
Yeah, you're really selling that sweetness with the aggression in your voice. Talking about I would say
no, go ahead.
Well, I would say that to all of those potential cash pigs out there, I am probably willing to do a lot more than Tony, just based on knowing the two of us. So if you are trying to pick between one of the two of us,
what does that mean?
Fake sweetness Tony, or
does that mean you would put out? Is that what you mean? Like, I think the whole point
depends on the cash.
I don't think it's that, though. I don't think they want to actually have sex with them.
No, I agree. I'm more empathetic than you to begin with. So again, I can be more. If what you really need is connection, I feel like I'm your guy.
I can't argue that. Well, the thing is I can't argue that yet because I haven't been cast. So give a bitch a chance. Let's see. She's got some levels.
She's got levels, but what she doesn't have is any Zelle cash.
I need
transfers.
money. I need money. And if that means I have to call you a stupid dick, I'll do it. I'm happy to do it. And I'm happy to put some fucking spice into it. Like I'm a free speech advocate.
Yeah. Help us help you spend your money.
But should we do a show?
Yes.
You're bringing us in, right?
Always.
All right. Well, hey, you never know. First of all, sorry, my Siri is asking me questions for no reason. All right, I'm going to give you a 4, a 3.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Gay Power Half Hour, the only gay podcast on the internet that's like a sitting U.S. president's visit to the Ukrainian capital during wartime because we're not that popular in Russia with your decadent homosexual Westerners, Casey Lai and
howdy, y'all. I'm Tony Soto, full-bred American.
It's your cowboy poet himself, Tony the Soto Lai.
That's right. Oh, we're back again. How are you, Casey? How was your week? How was the last time I saw you?
Good. How was the last time I saw you? I guess good. I saw you. We saw each other this weekend. How was the last time I saw you? That's your question to me.
Oh my God, that's right. 3-day weekends are wild in LA, right? And like I thought that I was ready for it, and I had a reason to go back home, but then I also had another reason to go back home. You know how like when you're like, this club is raging, you can't use the restroom at this club.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
You had two reasons to go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're there and you're like, oh, and by the way, this needs to happen. And then you're like, once it's all complete, you're like, the last thing I'm doing is going back there. Like the last thing I'm doing. But I heard it was a wild night.
It was fun. I don't know, wild. You know, what does wild even mean anymore? You know, we've seen so many wild things, you know, no one died. So it wasn't that wild, you know, it was a nice night. It was a nice way to celebrate the presidents. And I'll tell you, Akbar, I'm pretty sure that was Abraham Lincoln's favorite bar back in the day. He was known, you know, as a friend. So what, you know, he had some friends.
A gay POC, I think, you know, I think I was reading something that might have been a complete lie, that they're like, he might have been a POC, Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln?
But you hear a lot of things on the TikTok. So who knows? Who fucking even knows anymore?
Well, you got to get your information somewhere because you can't get it in books.
No, not anymore. Not anywhere. Are you batting down the hatches?
You got there, battening down the hatches. Yeah.
Because of the winter storm that is headed to Southern California.
This winter won't quit, mommy.
This will not quit. This is by far the most winter of winters that we have ever wintered here in Los Angeles.
Honestly, it's been since we've moved here, which is 10 years, probably. I don't know if it's the wettest, because I remember some wet ones earlier on, but it's certainly been chilly. And also not that chilly. I mean, that's the great thing about a winter out here. It's like, you know, it's going to be in the 40s, which is cold. But also, you look across that map and it's like -1.
Well, I'm glad I took that Christmas trip because it reminded me that like it will never be 5. You know what I mean? So we're good. But I'm saying no. This is going to be like a week. They're saying like 4 or 5 days of some kind of precipitation.
I mean, I'll tell you, I never would do a thing like this, but I was overwhelmed by the beauty of the men playing soccer during the World Cup, and I decided I was a true soccer fan. So I spent money on tickets over the holiday for a soccer game here in California. Los Angeles, late February, outdoors, beginning of the season between LA's 2 soccer teams.
The weather will be beautiful.
I thought, what a great thing. I'm such a big fan of soccer. I know my friend Alan is such a big fan of soccer, and not just every 4 years. We really, truly love the sport. It's the beautiful game.
Who are the teams that you're playing?
The LA Galaxy and Los Angeles Football Club, LAFC. We are fans of LA Football Club because that's the side of the arena that our tickets landed on. And I'll tell you though, the forecast is now calling for 90% chance rain and 47-degree temperatures.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure I'm that big of a fan of football.
Yeah. I mean, do you have a poncho? You need one of those ponchos.
I'm gonna need it to buy an LAFC team poncho with mittens.
Yeah, listen, just get some merch going.
I don't know if I want to go anymore. I'm not a hooligan. I'm a boy.
I mean, the thing is like I feel like being from Illinois and like Cubs games and whatnot, sometimes you deal with the rain, and like, you know, unless they call the game, you kind of go.
Right. I'm thinking about kind of going. I mean, I'm going to go. We're going to
I
go.
mean,
Alan, if you're listening, we're going to go.
I mean, how much were the tickets?
Enough that I want to go, but not
Like-
enough that I'm like, I have to go.
Like 35?
I think they were like each 50. I brought 3.
Damn. Oh, she was high rolling that time. She's like,
I
soccer.
love
You did all that for butts.
football.
Let's be very honest about where you are and where you were when you purchased those tickets. You were coming off of a fucking high from the fucking World Cup.
Yeah.
From just watching it every day with a chub, just sitting there being like, oh, I wish I was that athletic. And I wish it could frolic with those boys.
Mhm.
And so then you're like, $150. Bam.
Well, yeah, and you know, I'm hoping to
Ticketmaster.
I'm hoping to see if I can get the entire stadium to chant "Num num, give me some, num num, give me some," or if I'll get beaten up. I'm not sure.
You're not sure if they're allies or not. What that audience is like.
Num, give me. Is that what we're yelling, everyone? Oh, it's oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I thought it was give me that hole, hole, hole. No, num, give me some. Oh, okay.
Funny. So are you still impressed with Dark Brandon?
Well, you know, I don't want to make this a Dark Brandon love podcast, but you know, whatever. He went to Ukraine, and Trump went to East Palestine. Do you think we call it East Palestine because people who live there don't want it to sound like East Palestine?
Yeah, and also, yeah, they don't want to draw attention that they don't like Palestine anywhere, no matter what country it's in.
Right.
And I believe that Trump is supposed to be in East Palestine,
Like
Orda,
yeah,
like the day that we're recording, which is the 22nd. So,
Dark Brandon, aka President of the United States Joe Biden, went to Kyiv. The first president to ever go to a war zone that was not protected by American air space or whatever.
It's pretty pimp. I mean, that's like they were even like last minute before they hopped in the plane. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, Russia, don't pull any shit because Dark Brandon is coming to Kyiv.
Yeah, and we calling it Kyiv.
Well, I you know, as dumb as this country gets, and as many that hate reading, and we'll get around to that, but like, it's like there's already a slide of people who are like over Ukraine, and then you have voice boxes like fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene who's saying, oh, that thing happened in East Palestine, but where are we putting our money in Ukraine? And they're, they're trying to start this division. That mayor in East Palestine's a bit of a Trumper. But
so even he's, go ahead.
No. I mean, it's already becoming like, I hope that the backing of Ukraine stays a majority in this country, because that to me is more important, because in East Palestine at this point, you have a Republican governor who dragged his feet on getting anything happening there. And that's your vote working.
Yeah, I mean, it's a variety of things. If you voted for, I mean, you know, we're talking about two things. We're talking about Ukraine, we're talking about East Palestine. But like, if you voted for Trump and you're excited that Trump is coming to your town because of a train disaster, also know that Trump deregulated the train industry and had the FDA or the EPA or whatever fucking make it easier for trains to dump fucking chemicals where the fuck they wanted. And so he's responsible for your town being a fucking cloud of acid rain right now.
It's very weird, right?
Yeah.
Like,
but that's not the way we were talking about it last week. You know, like the hypocrisy within the Republican mind allows them to say whatever the fuck they want and then a minute later do the exact opposite. And that's what this is. And especially it's highlighted because Biden went to Ukraine, and then of course, because the other side has to talk about why that was the worst thing that they could have ever fucking done, because they should have gone to the border to deal with that crisis, or they should have gone to East Palestine. Also, I'll tell you what, I don't want Joe Biden breathing that air right now. Okay, I'd rather him be in Kyiv under the threat of fucking missiles landing on top of him than breathing that air. He's an old man. Okay, we don't know what's going to do with his lungs.
Did you see the governor drinking tap water out of I was like, who staged it? Where were you exactly? Whose house was that? Like, yeah. I have questions. Like, don't give me that propaganda. Like, yeah, I get it. You're not Flint, Michigan. You're not one of those. They know to stay away from it. But you're also a very stupid person. So
I don't know. I mean, I don't. You know, I don't. It's a terrible situation. You know, I hate how it becomes like a question. I was reading an article today about it's like, you know, who's gone there, who hasn't. And I will say, you're saying like the mayor is like a Trumpy guy. Yeah, but even I
wanted to root for the mayor.
I know,
when I first saw him, I was like, oh, look at her. She's got a whole thing. Like that mayor could be iconic.
But he also did say, I don't want anyone coming here to make it about a political spectacle or using us as political pawns, which is
but she got Trump to come. That's bullshit. Don't say that kind of shit.
No, I don't think he asked for Trump to come. I think Trump just came. I think Trump saw that MTG was talking about how Biden didn't go, so Biden's a fucking lizard. That Trump was like,
on this show, but I feel like he asked for Trump.
Well, okay, but that, you know, so one way or the other, like it is becoming about politics, not about fucking making sure these people can breathe their air and drink their fucking water.
But the thing is, it's always, you know, it's never going to be about that. Like it's that's why you hope it never happens to your town. Like here's the thing, listeners of this pod. Hope that this never happens in your town, because it's never going to be about your breath. They don't give a fuck about your breath. It's never going to be about your tumors. They don't care if you have tumors. They're like, other people will make more babies, so it's fine. That's the problem. And so it does get political. That's the only way you have any stake in the game. That's why Erin Brockovich was coming out, girl. She's like, I need Julia Roberts to do a sequel. Yeah. And I'm here for it. Come on, sequel. Come on, Erin Brockovich. If you can get in there and you can fucking help these goddamn people, these poor, dumb people who don't know their what's good for them.
Palestinians, the East Palestinians.
Yeah, the poor East Palestinians. Bringing Trump in. Trump, the reason it happened. We have such bad relationships with our daddies, Universal, that it's like, oh, we just want to hug from our abuser. What a dumb situation.
Yeah, I want Trump to take a sip of that water. I want him to.
I want it from the mayor's house. Not that cute little gingerbread making white lady that the governor was sipping water from. All right. You know, she's got a softener. You know what I mean? She's got a softener in there. That's a white lady house. And
I want Trump to get out there. I want someone to fucking fill up a canteen from the river and be like, Trump, here, take a sip of this. Tell me if this is good or not. You have any rashes?
Yeah. Do you think you removed it all? Because they were like, we removed 1.5 million gallons of toxic water. They're like 4,500 cubic square feet of fucking and that's probably wrong. Those numbers are probably absolutely wrong. But of toxic ground. It's like, all right, where are you putting it?
Well, I was also reading today that they were like all the tests are showing that everything is fine. And then people are like, yeah, but the air smells bad and we keep getting rashes. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not a doctor, and it could be psychosomatic. Don't be wrong, but this rash is really itchy, and that wasn't happening before all these chemicals got lit on fire in the air.
And this is the thing about those flyovers. They're very hospitable and friendly, and they do good because they're Jesus fearing. And they rush to help. In a city, I would have closed down my windows and pulled my phone. I've been like, until this passes over, I don't care if I heard coughing next door. Fucking just put more towel under the door.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know.
So should we talk about Emily Kors?
No, I don't care
or do you
about
want
that
to go
thing.
right into librarians and
Let's get into the
why I think that we're all wrong?
Yeah, let's talk. Let's universally tell us why we're all wrong, Tony. You had an interview with a librarian from Illinois.
So yeah,
But also librarians are in the news because in Florida, one got fired for posting a video about how all the shelves were bare of books because the books were taken out to be reviewed by the local authorities who are not Nazis about what their kids can read and can't read. And I'll tell you what, they can't read anything about two mommies, two daddies, or black people in general. Pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, but by all means, keep the Bible in there. And so I've kind of gone down a couple of rabbit holes in this situation because I've never had a bad experience with a library. You know what I mean? Like libraries, and I remember libraries when I was in school were kind of like a solace area that like you could go to and not be bullied because the dumb kids that were mean didn't typically hang out in the library.
Right.
My public library was always cute in my hometown. And I hate stupid people. And I hate stupid people having a say.
There you go.
And so the whole book thing really got me spinning in my head. And so I was like, do I know a fucking librarian? And come to find out, I do. And come to find out, I was one of those bullies because I roused her when we worked together when she was in library school. Because I was like, library school? And this is a guy who was in theater school. The gall, the absolute gall. I was like, what would you do in a library school? But you got to be very smart to be a librarian.
Yeah. Takes a lot of schooling to be around that many books.
But so I feel like, so I had her on the Tony Soto show. You can go check out that show because it's up. But one thing I learned was that we're all a bit to blame in this. Granted, the right is going a little wild crazy at this point. But, the person stressed, she's like, book banning has been happening for a long time.
Yeah. It goes all the way back to books, actually.
Yeah, all the way back to books. I mean, let's not forget how many books the Catholic Church destroyed and from other religions that, that they conquered. So they love to destroy knowledge. But when we were talking, I was like, okay, but how many of these books that are being banned or being asked to be banned aren't Black, POC, queer, or female? And that's when we were discussing, she's like, well, actually, a lot of the classics are disputed by liberals because of the use of words that are used in the books. And I was like, you know what? I can't be one for the other. If I'm really trying to I think that all books that were written at any given point were written for a reason and were the voice of that period, regardless of whether it's fiction or nonfiction. You know what I mean? And to think that the liberals' talking points on this is oh my God, they're trying to erase Black people and Black culture. And it's but you're also trying to erase I feel like every time a word or whatever is represented in a book, I think that shows progression of those people, that they can that we're past that now, that's controversial, that's we can't believe that, but we don't want to look at it. We want to cover it up or censor it because we don't want to know that it's there, but it's it's still our history. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it comes down to free speech, but I think we're talking Roald Dahl is in the news because there's been a lot of censoring of or changes to his books, and so there's re-releases of his books that take out all of the negative things they say about people of different races and people of different sizes and all of that stuff. Yeah. And that is it's Roald Dahl. Roald Dahl's
Charlie
books
and the Chocolate Factory, right?
Yeah, Charlie and Chocolate Factory, Matilda, James and the Giant Peach. Like,
so who's the chocolate eater in Charlie and Chocolate Factory?
Veruca.
No, that's the chocolate. No, that's the girl. But the guy who eats the chocolate and drowns in the chocolate or whatever.
Oh, right. Yeah.
In the book, they're referred to as enormously fat. And now it's just enormous. I'm like, how is that? You're still saying enormous. I would, first of all, if you started with enormous, I'd be irritated. I'd be like, what'd you call me?
Would you call me an enormous chocolate eater? How dare you? I know what you're saying, but also, that is censorship of the way that something was, but that is also like, I don't know. I'm so fed up with this shit because just like we spend way too much time like policing what it is that our kids can hear. And one, we're barely even teaching them to read in the beginning. Like that's the thing that fucking astounds me, that we're talking about like books in this country. Really, we're talking about books in this country. No one fucking reads in this fucking country. And that's a major fucking issue. So until you fucking show me that like you have any sort of interest in educating a kid beyond the fucking Bible and beyond the fucking like nonsense that you fucking are indoctrinating into them, if you have any fucking belief in that, then I'm willing to have a fucking conversation with you about books, but you're not. Yeah. You want to raise them to hate and to shoot, and that is like so. You like, let your kids the fuck up. You should not be the arbiters of what it is that people can fucking read in this country. And yet here we are fucking having this conversation. And there is a difference to me on the left and the right, changing some words and banning books completely because they are pro gay, black, anything that is not you, like that is, there is a difference. And there is also like they're banning books. I mean, there are no books in Florida schools because they have to review all the fucking books.
I don't think that as a true liberal progressive that I can, for me, there can't be one or the other. So it's like I believe that y'all should just keep your fucking hands off of written literature.
No, agreed.
Like if your fucking bullshit Bible is infallible and cannot be touched and whatnot, then so goeth for fucking when Dr. Seuss was a little problematic back in the fucking day. Yeah. Like also it's like you're never going to erase the need for a young person of color, a young queer person. You're never going to get rid of their fucking want to find that material. Just so you know, it's like go. Right. I'll go to a Barnes and Noble and find the book.
I do wish,
I'll get it on Amazon.
I wish this book banning craze was causing more people to hit the underground market for all these queer YA novels and lesbian positive fucking children's books. I hope that was like the case, but it doesn't seem to be the case again because no one fucking reads.
I don't know. Do we know that? I don't know. I don't know of any numbers. Have you seen that has been like articles being like kids aren't reading? I mean, because we listen. No, because as kids, we like to do Audible as one of the youth.
And I'm not poo-pooing audiobooks by any means. I think attention span wise, it's easier for me to read because I'm doing one thing and have to focus my energy on that. Listening is harder for me, but that has nothing to do with. Wait, what did you just say? The point. The point again comes back to just like what it's this. I mean, it's about education, but it's this narrative of like on the left has to understand this too. You can't be fucking hypocrites, because if you're going to be mad about fascism and banning fucking information, then you also have to understand that like when it comes to being like you can't do this, you can't say that, then that is also, a way of like controlling the way people fucking think, which is a fucking issue. I agree. There are good ways to think and bad ways to think, but the way to create a more even playing field is to give people all the information and let them fucking make their a decision based on that, especially if one of those is not hate speech. It's just, It's not like advocating violence. That's the thing. It's like you were talking about Huck Finn. It's like, there are hate words in there. Okay. But that's also a book that was written in a time when that's how people talked. And it's the same thing. If we're not allowed to, if we're not allowed to teach critical race theory, then don't change the words in Huck Finn to protect the little fucking ears, because that's the way that people are going to learn their history, is through the fact that that through the books that we were reading and the way that people spoke, this is what was happening in America. So if we can't be taught it in schools because it's too controversial, on both sides, then it's an erasure of the history completely one way or the other. And that's
I wish that my burned out brain wasn't so that, because I remember we were read that book in grade school or junior high school, something like that. It's like, and the librarian who read the book was like, yo, look, it's going to be some shit in here that's not great to say around, and I want y'all to be real mature about it when it comes up. But she's like, there's a place it belongs in this book because that's the period in which it was written. And that just like really like stuck with me, and I'm like, yeah. Like, if we can approach things and like approach kids, it's like, I don't know, like aspiring grown-ups, isn't that what they are? Yeah. Like withholding that kind of stuff and sheltering that from that kind of stuff, it's just going to make them really weird when they're encountering it in real fucking life. And that's people of color, that's queer people, that's, I don't know. It's all very, very fucking bizarre and weird. And the problem is you have these moms of liberty. I want to know each and every one of their kids' ages and where they are. Like, do you have kids in school right now? Like, do you have kids? Like, is your womb barren? Like, I want to know all these questions. If you can know when kids are menstruating so they can play sports, I want to know how fertile your uterus is and was in your period, so you can be on Mom's Liberty acting like you give a goddamn what a kid reads.
You're talking about a group of women who are pro these book bannings. Like, is that you want to know?
The Moms of Liberty. They're the ones who like back DeSantis and whatnot. It's a whole fucking. That's the whole group that fucking.
But it all goes. We were talking this pre-show too. I mean, what it all comes back to. I mean, in so many ways, it's anti. I mean, I only want to say it's anti-gay at this point. It's like there's such an anti-trans backlash that it seems to be infecting literally everything. Like, because it's about menstruating and playing sports and shit like that. Like this is all against any sort of fucking gender variance, because that is somehow so deeply fucking.
Don't even get me started about fucking what they're like. The thing is they're lumping. They're using drag queens as a catalyst to be transphobic. Like, literally all of this drag banning fucking legislation, bills or whatever, all of the fucking lingo is shelled out from the same fucking place. And it's basically like, in public, in clothes that aren't assigned to your gender, like, it's not like, it's not drag queen, it's we are going to use this drag panic and connect brunches with Drag Queen Story Hour and make that seem like they're connected. So they're like, so people think that kids are around booze and fucking gyrating women. And all the while people are looking at drag queens, we're going to do the words, because no one reads the bills. No one reads. And it's going to be like, if you look like you're wearing clothes that you shouldn't be wearing, we're going to fucking do something.
No, I mean, that's part of it. And like, and people are making that argument. It's like, what about Halloween? What about like all the things when all this crazy shit is happening? I mean, I agree 100%. I think here's what's going to, I mean, politically, it's like, this is what's going to happen. It's like, I do not think that I think that this is a bullshit fucking strategy that has already been proven to lose. And this, like, while it makes all the headlines and it certainly exacerbates the problem with the conservative base and the conservative insanity, like in my mind, this is, everything that comes out of Florida doesn't really tend to, capture the imagination of the public in America as a whole. It doesn't inspire us in any sort of fucking way. And I think ultimately we're going to see this foisted upon the Republican National Party, which it already is, but as like the leader, like DeSantis will be the presidential nominee, whoever it is. And it's, you know, I mean, like it's scary because it gets that close. It gets that close to having the full levers of national power, and it's terrifying. And we see, you know, McCarthy is owned by it. But I in my mind, you know, it is a losing national political strategy, and that will be shown in 2004. But we're going to have to continue to put up with how fucking 2024. What did I say? 2024?
Yeah.
224. It does feel like often we're living in the year 224 because of how batshit crazy all of these people are with their beliefs in, you know, God-fearing destruction. But I will say also this, the weather, so God-fearing destructive. So who knows where we are.
Look.
Anyway, I'm just saying it's like it needs to be fucking fought, but like the more insane they get, like the more losing of a strategy is nationwide. And I just hope that will happen. And maybe you know, another losing cycle for Republicans will, you know, continue to have them eat each other alive. I hope, but I don't.
I'm just saying this. Look, Christians, look, you fucking Jesus dick sucking motherfuckers. Look. I'm fine. I'm going to go middle ground here. I'm here for you. Call on your fucking lame ass Jesus Christ late to the goddamn party. Tell him to end it all. I'm ready. Take me while I still look good. Okay. Fuck off. I'm rooting for your fucking revelations. All right. That's where we are. I'm ready. But are you really ready? You fucking cowards. I doubt it. You fucking coward ass fucks. Anyway, I think we've come to the end of the show.
Speaking of coward ass fucks, where are you performing?
Yeah, Casey, where are you gonna go and spiel your fucking liberal nonsense, your centrist bullshit?
Well, I am going to Florida next week. But, I am.
Don't put any of your money in that economy.
No, I'm not. I'm just taking money out of it. Don't worry. I don't. Doing that. I've got. You can follow me on Instagram, Casey Ley. And that's it for right now. What are you doing?
That. Very interesting. Always good stuff. Y'all, I always do. Battle Babies, you know, down in WeHo every Wednesday at 10 p.m. coming out to Stash. It's a fun show. I'm doing it for the year, literally every Wednesday. I think about that every day. Also, I don't have anything else. I'm the Tony Soto Show on Instagram and TikTok. If you want to see what I'm doing in drag, go to the Tony Soto Show Productions on Instagram. And we'll be back again next week, right?
Yeah.
Oh, did I say that if you like this show, you should go to our iTunes page?
I don't think you said all that.
Oh my God.
I wasn't really listening. It was the end of the show.
You all know how this show starts and how it ends. So just give me a break. I'm very high. We'll be back next week. Bye.
Worldwide Adderall shortage too. So, you know, bye.